Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is episode 214 Weather Weekly. Good to be with you. Hey, welcome to the month of February. Made it through a long January, especially if you were not a big winter lover. Quite active, quite cold through the month of January. But it was nice to kind of have a mild burst here near the end of the month and kind of rolling into the intro of February here. Before we get to the week ahead, I know I usually do this at the end, but I want to kind of maybe separate this a little bit. Just some quick numbers for you, recapping the month of January. I know it felt cold, right? And it was. We had some stretches where we had not just several days below average, but well below average. But you put it all in perspective, our average temperatures for the entire month, so that's the high, lows, and everything in between, ended up being 23.7 degrees from the 1st to the 31st. That is good for the 36th coldest on record. So, we've had colder. It's the coldest since, I'm looking down the line here, 2014. And of course, 2014 was that real bad winter that we had. Both really cold, really snowy for that entire winter. The average temperature that January was 20.1 degrees. So it's been a while since we've been, that cold here. The record, by the way, for January, coldest, was 1977. The average temperature for that month was 10.2 degrees. That is real cold. Snowfall, we did receive just over a foot officially. 12.1 inches of snowfall for the month of January. That is good for the 22nd snowiest January on record. It is the snowiest since, again, 2014. And we had 26.9 inches of snow for the month of January that year. And that, again, goes down as the second snowiest, only eclipsed by 1978. I think we all know what happened that year and that month. In 1978, when there was 30.6 inches of snowfall for the month of January there. So, for the first time in a long time, 11 years to be exact, cold and snowy for the month of January. So, just some quick hard stats for you there. Obviously, not as big of a problem here as we kind of rolled into our first weekend of February, and now we enter into the first full week of the month of February as well, with some milder temperatures. But we got a lot of action that we got to talk about as we roll along this week. It's what happens when you start warming things up. You get these big fluctuation in temperatures. You're usually going to start getting some activity in the form of storm systems. So we'll kind of walk you through the details in the week ahead for February 3rd, 2025. That's next here on Weather Weekly. All right, it is the week ahead for February 3rd, 2025. Let's begin with Monday, no problems. And actually, it's going to be a really nice start to this week here. Very spring-like, very more April-like than it would be for early February. I think we're dry all day. We'll probably see clouds increasing here. We're going to get a little bit more moisture as we warm things up here early on into the week. But I've got highs into the upper 50s and lower 60s. I'm going to go with a high of 61 here in Indianapolis. We'll start partly cloudy and then turn mostly cloudy for the afternoon. But really should be a nice day. Winds aren't going to be terrible. A little breezy, but it'll be a mild breeze. I think gusts only get up to around 20. That's not too bad. You'll notice it at times, but I think it's going to be a really nice day here for Monday. Monday night, mostly cloudy, should be quiet. It's going to be seasonably chilly. We'll have overnight lows dipping down into the mid-30s. Now, I do see a bit of a cool down for Tuesday. We're not going to be quite as nice. There is going to be a cold front that comes through dry as we go in through your Monday evening, overnight, and then into Tuesday morning. And so our temperatures will struggle a little bit more. We're going to be above average, but obviously not as mild as Monday. So we'll go partly cloudy skies and highs into the mid-40s only for Tuesday. All right. Tuesday night, we're mostly cloudy. We will be awaiting our next system. This is going to be a larger system moving in. Could bring in some rain chances to our area as early as the overnight hours. On Tuesday night, overnight lows will be into the lower 30s when you wake up for Wednesday morning. Now, going into Wednesday, we've got widespread chance for precipitation here. A pretty large system that's going to be moving into the Midwest. We'll have some rain chances before daybreak, and then we'll continue to just kind of spread to the north. I do think that there is the chance for some thunderstorms. I think there's going to be enough instability with this system that we could get a few thunderstorms moving in for the afternoon hours of Wednesday. There could be some... there's not a high-end threat for any severe weather, but there is a chance maybe that you get some gustier winds. And this time of year, especially because you're still in winter, right? There may be the chance that we're going to have some hail. That certainly could be an issue. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, I'm not at this point looking at things overly concerned, but I definitely think that there could be some rumblers and there could be a couple of stronger thunderstorms. So we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, if that becomes a bigger threat, we'll jump on and do a new updated podcast as well. The temperatures are going to peak probably later into the overnight hours, thanks to a warm front moving through. So we're just going to see those numbers kind of gradually increase. Mid-40s for a lot of the daytime hours. So it's just, Wednesday's not going to be a fun day. It's going to be just a chilly rain, a kind of a steady rain across our area. That will continue into Wednesday night and then likely into Thursday as well. You'll likely see rain chances continuing with numbers into the upper 40s. So even with that warm front kind of moving through, it's not going to be a tremendous boost across our area for those rain opportunities here. All right, so we got the rain chances here for Thursday. I do think that's going to be kind of a first half of the day thing as it appears right now. And then we'll actually get that whole massive system moving out and high pressure will settle in. That should help to dry things out by Thursday afternoon. It'll be, again, it's going to be cool, but we're still above average. Highs will be in the upper 40s. And as we go into Thursday night, we're partly cloudy and colder, but we should be, quiet, lows into the mid 40s. Now, high pressure settles in briefly, as I mentioned, kind of starting Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. Friday, I think, is dry. We're mostly sunny. Cool again, highs around 40. But should be a dry end to this upcoming work week here. And it's a very brief break because I do think we've got another potent system coming in for the weekend as early as Friday night, probably the overnight hours. Rain likely, although with our temperatures maybe dipping close to freezing or slightly below, there might be the potential for either some freezing rain or some mixed bag. Because we record this podcast so early in the week, that's so far out, it's tough to gauge. I do want to at least say the possibilities will be there for some mixed precipitation. Where that goes, we're going to have to kind of iron that out. But that could be a thing Friday night. We do believe, because this will be a warm front sliding through, though we'll get in a warmer sector of the storm complex by Saturday. And so whatever precipitation we have as the warm front lifts north, it then becomes all rain. And we'll have highs in the low 50s for Saturday across our area there. In terms of how the rest of the weekend kind of plays out, again, you're going to have that, the rain, maybe some mixed bag kind of lingering on. I think that the precip should be gone by the time we hit daybreak on Sunday. And it does look like we're going to kind of tap into cooler air, not frigid, but cooler air. So Sunday highs will probably be hanging out in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Not terrible, but not great. So yeah, very active week ahead, mostly in the form of rain. I think if we're going to have any worries about travel conditions in terms of ice, I don't think we're going to be in a state where we're going to be dealing with any snow at this point. But you get into the kind of those situations, you're probably just kind of concerned with Saturday early morning, Friday late night into early Saturday morning. In terms of liquid precipitation, I think we could easily see over an inch of rainfall over the next 7 days here in Indy. And really, that's over much of the state. I think your amounts may be a little bit lighter north of I-70, but I think you still range between a half an inch to an inch. Places like Muncie, Kokomo, Lafayette, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Gary. Around the metro area, Indy, about an inch to an inch and a half. From Indy to Bloomington to Columbus to Richmond to Vincennes, down to Evansville. Louisville could be around an inch and a half to 2 inches of rainfall. Down along the Ohio River, okay? So, yeah, active week, and the mud fest will continue after all the snow melt we just received. I think most of the snow that we had from some of those big systems in January, gone. Absolutely gone. I had one big pile that I kind of, shoveled and snowblowed everything on, kind of on the right-hand side of my driveway. And it was still hanging on a little bit Saturday afternoon, but I just looked out Sunday morning, and it is long gone. There is no more snow in my yard. So the wash away will continue here this week. So we'll keep you updated if we get any significant changes. Might have some minor flooding issues. I'm hopeful that we're going to get at least a little bit of enough break from the snow melt, the rain that we had late week last week, that we'll be able to wring things out a little bit here before we bring in some of these precip chances midweek and then heading into the weekend. All right. So that's a look at the week ahead forecast. We'll wrap things up coming up next here on Weather Weekly. All right, we won't hit up on the February stats since we're only a couple of days in at this point, so it's not real productive. We will go ahead and move ahead to the 8 to 14-day outlook we mentioned about it being quite active. The 8 to 14-day precip outlook for the dates of the 9th through the 15th shows a pretty decent signal of above average precipitation across, it's not just Indiana, but really the eastern half, with Central Plains all the way to the East Coast, New England states. The only place that may be below normal precip is the main portions of Florida, the peninsula of Florida there. In terms of temperatures, there's some signals that we're probably looking at slightly below average temperatures also in that time frame as well. I will say this, I don't see any surges of polar air like we had a few times in January, right? It looks like that's going to kind of get bottled up into Canada for the most part, maybe the Pacific Northwest, where it could sneak down. But I don't see, at least in the next couple of weeks, that we're going to get a big surge of Arctic temperatures. Now, that said, we may be cold enough in that time frame if you continue to keep the pattern active, which, all signs are indicating that we probably stay active with maybe a storm or two complex a week, if you're cold enough, it all matches up together, you could get some snow. So again, I know it's been nice that we've been warming things up and got the snow melt going on, but we got a long way to go before we actually kind of shut it down for the winter. So, and if you've been around here long enough, a lot of our snows have come either in like late February, March. We've even had some in April here. So we still have some time before we're completely done with even talking about moving fully on to warmer temperatures there. I know I'm just full of more full of wonderful news, aren't I? And again, if you missed it last week, the monthly forecast for February, and this was updated on the 31st. There wasn't much change. It does actually call for above average temperatures for the month of February, and a real strong signal for above average precipitation. So we'll see. Obviously going to get a little cooler here coming up, but maybe we finish strong for the last couple of weeks of February. We will keep you updated. Thanks for tuning into the podcast this week. Always appreciate your time. You can email your feedback to me anytime, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. You can also hit me up on social media, Marcus Bailey Weather on Facebook, and @ Marcus Bailey on Instagram and X as well. I think it's also @ Marcus Bailey Weather on TikTok as well. So you can reach out to me on any of those platforms. I usually check them fairly consistently there. You can also get our forecast 24 hours a day on our website, wishtv.com. Also our Storm Track 8 weather app. Go to your phone's app store. Make sure to search for Wish TV Weather. Not Storm Track 8 weather, but Wish TV Weather. That'll get you to our free Storm Track 8 weather app. And of course, you can get my forecast Monday through Friday during the work weeks here on the TV side locally in central Indiana, Indianapolis, Channel 8. That is Wish TV in Indianapolis. Hope to see you there from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all parts of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week. We will talk to you soon, and God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.